Hello, and don't worry, today is going to be a great day. Today we have another book club video. This month we'll be talking about One Final Vinyl by Savy Leiser. It is actually the perfect month to talk about this book because the author Savy is releasing her next book, #SavyBusinessOwner, on the 8th. I will leave a link to where you can find One Final Vinyl as well as #SavyBusinessOwner in the description below. Next month we'll discuss The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I will leave a link to where you can find that book as well in the description below. As a heads up, this video will contain spoilers. As per the trend, I found this book through social media. I actually came across Savy during the Democratic primary, and it was actually a political tweet that made me click and read her bio. I saw that she was an author, so I followed her on Instagram and I followed her on YouTube. One thing about her you should know if you want to read One Final Vinyl is that she is a small business owner and advocate and is anti-MLM, which is multi-level marketing. And these topics do show up in the book. She runs Forever Home Friends, which sells kids' books and toys based off of real shelter dogs. And she donates 10% of her profits to no-kill shelters. Her products make really cute gifts for little kids. I briefly mentioned this in one of my other vlogs, but I have ordered them as gifts for my own family members. I will also leave a link to Forever Home Friends in the description below. It is an affiliate link, which just means I'll get a cut of anything you might buy while using my link. As I mentioned, this book does contain references to small businesses and multi-level marketing companies. Emma, the main character, has parents who used to run a small business, a bakery, that closed down in the 2008 financial crisis. After that, in order to make some more money, Emma's mother became involved in an MLM makeup company. It isn't imperative to the story, but it does add to Emma's perception of her parents' sacrifices. The book also starts in the Chicago area. As I've said many times before, I usually don't like it when an author writes themselves in as the main character. However, I don't think this is what Savy did. She incorporated details from her life, yes. At least the main character wasn't an aspiring writer. So the book had a very interesting way of showing Emma's mental health. It was filled with tangents and side stories that only partially related to the actual events of the evening. Usually I think that tends to bog down the story and slows down the pacing. But in this case, I think it provided valuable insight into the character. It felt like Emma was constantly thinking about her life and second-guessing herself. It was interesting because the story was really about a road trip. While the story was about a road trip to drive Daisy home, it was really about how frustrated Emma was with where she was in life. So, while the story slowed down the events of the night were not the biggest focus of the novel. Yes, the events that night changed her, but it was her constant analysis of her past combined with the new insight and perspective she received from being around Daisy that really changed her. I personally liked the discussion of Emma possibly studying music. It felt like a discussion I've had myself. The words money and practical tend to pop up a lot in those conversations. But I love how supportive Daisy is of someone she just met earlier in the night. I just love Daisy as a character in general. She doesn't let anything stop her. She's kind, compassionate, and outgoing. She seems at peace with her aging, yet won't let it get in her way. And she still acknowledges that she has issues. In many ways, she's the opposite of Emma, which I think is why Emma takes to her so quickly. They complement each other. I liked all the characters in this book. They all felt like their own individual people, instead of all the same character, kind of same voice, but with different names. The characters each had their own behaviors, as well as speaking style and word choice. Even some of the throwaway characters, such as the taxi driver, were distinguished from the overall narrative style. Obviously that's how it's supposed to be, but I've read, and maybe wrote, stories where the characters all tend to blend together. They maybe look different. Sure, they look different, but it's kind of weird to constantly bring up someone's looks. So it's important that they sound and act different. That way you can picture that particular character as opposed to just a character. And I think Savy did well enough that I could distinguish between the characters. That's gonna be it. Have you read One Final Vinyl? What did you think of the book? Did you think it had an accurate portrayal of mental health and mental illness? Which characters did you like the most? What did you think about the tangents? For now, a smiley farewell, and always remember, nothing is ever only one thing.